Let's go.
Yay! All right, it is Sunday. It is the end of February. I can say words. And we have a guest with us today. So this is Heaven's Light Cosplay, and we're going to talk about creating unique and fun cosplay content through TikTok and Instagram, and then it's kind of just talk to Heaven's Light about their experiences with the world. So we let's go ahead and start and have you introduce yourself to our fans who will be joining shortly.
Hello. My handle is Heaven's Light Cosplay. You can call me Lux. I don't have a pronoun preference. He, him, she, her, they, them. Feel free. I've been doing TikTok since before it was TikTok, when it was still Musically.
Remember
And
that?
yeah, it's been a while. And I am based in the Pacific Northwest, Washington cons mostly, but I also go down for Oregon conventions as well. And I mostly dabble in lip syncs and performances of the like.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And what are you dressed as today so people know?
Today I am a warrior of light from Final Fantasy XIV, a Mikote.
Hey, that's what I was like, please.
Yeah.
All right. Chibi, do you want to go next?
Hi. One of the rare times I'm out of cosplay, I had to surprisingly work today. But I'm rocking my Promar mask, so that's good. One of my favorite shows. I'm a Pacific Northwest cosplayer. This is one of my favorite humans above me. They're such a lovely person to be around. We met at competitions and stuff, and so I can't say enough how much I love hanging out with in real life cosplayers. It's not what we're talking about today, but as cons are coming back, it's been kind of nice. I'm actually going to be at SoccerCon doing skit stuff again and panels. So if you see me there, please come say hi. I'm super excited.
So excited.
But yeah, I am not prepared for this episode at all.
That is okay. And while Jinx is sharing, I am Sam from Thermo Cosplay. I started cosplaying in 2014. I am from Arizona. I've traveled all over the Southwest, Pacific Northwest, and some other parts of the country to go to conventions. I'm a regular speaker at conventions, and I've been a guest at quite a few of them as well. I'm just a big fabrication nerd, so I like to talk to people about how to create safely and not, poison themselves.
Yeah, not poisoning yourself is a great tip.
I think that's valid.
Totally valid.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Totally valid.
I mean, that's totally valid because I was literally about to message Sam this morning going, hey, I'm going to be working with some EVA and fabric. What glues do you recommend for me? So
your question should be, how do I not poison myself?
Yeah.
What do you mean I can't do resin with the window closed? That's not fair.
Oh, I'm bad about resin. I'm very bad. Okay, so I guess it's my turn. Yes. No, yes. Okay. Hi guys, I'm Jinx Cosplay. I've been cosplaying since 2001. I'm based in Phoenix, Arizona. I do a lot of video game cosplays. I'm dressed as Yuri Honjo from High Rise Invasion. If you haven't seen that one, I haven't read the manga, but the anime is on Netflix and it's insane. Like I couldn't stop watching it. I can't say if it's like good, bad, whatever. It's just like you won't stop watching it because you're like, what the heck? And you just keep watching. I do panels only because of Sam. I compete only because of Sam. I guess I cosplay only because of Sam. Sam, what's my next cosplay?
I thought we were going to the Final Fantasy Symphony.
Yeah, I already have the costume. We're going as Tifa and Cloud. So cute.
I got his pretty purple dress.
We're going to be matching our wall market outfits, so that'll be exciting. So,
So good.
Yep. So today we have, like we said, we brought on a new guest, and we're going to be discussing creating cosplay content on different social media platforms. Heaven's Light is known for her amazing lip syncs. I may have watched through quite a few of them yesterday. Familiarize myself. I like meeting new cosplayers. It's awesome. So we'll be sharing some of that. But first, like, what inspired you to start doing lip syncing? Like, I know that it's pretty common nowadays. It's very regular, but you started very, very early on.
So it was all on a whim, honestly, because my first lip sync I did was Powerline from Goofy Movie.
Yes. Yes.
And
I have to find this again. I remember this. It's amazing.
yeah, no, it was like at first I found Musically and I was like, oh, lip syncing, that's fun. I know that show like just recently started or whatever. And I found a wig and I was just like, got to be and like did the little swirl and I found a yellow shirt and I just did like a 5-10 second video and everyone's like, oh my god, you should do the thing.
What can you say around what year that was?
2012.
Okay, wow, yeah. 10 years ago.
Yeah, so long before TikTok was really big. Yeah.
Yeah. Long before TikTok was big. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I'll do the whole costume. And so I did it and I entered my first lip sync at NewCon of that year. It was on New Year's, I believe. So it was 2012, turning 2013, like literally. And that was my first lip sync competition. I didn't really perform skits before that point, so I was so anxious. I was so nervous. And I remember getting on stage and that's it. Someone had to take video of me because like I couldn't remember a lot of what I did.
Oh my gosh.
But I remember being completely out of breath when I was done and the judges like losing their minds. And I won that year. I won my first lip sync that I ever entered. And it was just kind of a spiral down past that point. I was like, oh my god, this is really fun. I want to do it again. And I also realized that by using Musically at the time, I got a little more mileage on my costumes. So it's like, I can wear this for more than a weekend.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you, so when did you start cosplaying? Did you mention that in your intro?
I did not. I started doing full builds also in 2012, but like I started going to conventions and like learning about cosplay in 2007.
Okay. So, like doing the lip sync thing was kind of like helped you start kind of get more into cosplay?
Yeah, that was when I started doing full builds and photo shoots and the whole nine because I started finally learning how to read patterns and like do more than just alter a few Goodwill garments.
That's so cool. God! Yeah, when like you hear something that's not related.
And I won't stop until I stop. Stand by. Open up your eyes, take a look.
Okay. A couple of comments, guys, before we get too far. Cool Gamer says hello from YouTube. Hi. And on Facebook, Lillian says y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing for watching us as well. And Matthew says, hi, friends. Happy Pokemon Day.
It's Pokemon Day. I didn't know.
Yeah. Pokemon's anniversary. They did some announcements this morning. I'm so freaking stoked. I'm one of those people that literally, like, as soon as something drops in Japan, I, like, am on it totally. So this morning, me and my friends are all screaming about the new releases of starters, and I'm just so freaking excited.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well, now I'm going to have to, like, play Pokemon at some point today. Yeah, no, I like that power line. I remember seeing that, like it was floating around on the internet, like on YouTube. Someone had recorded it as well. And I was like, because I just was trying to get into doing well on stage, and I was researching like really popular videos, and yours kept coming up with like, this girl rocked it. And I was like, this was really good, actually. This is awesome. So like I was like, when I was looking at your TikTok, I'm like, wait a second. What? So that was pretty exciting.
We actually met at SoccerCon. Gosh, I don't even remember what date it was. It was actually my first skit competition at SoccerCon, and so I was doing Ramshu with my partner, which we actually had we gotten together. I don't think we were actually together at that point.
Not yet.
Yeah, and then I met Lex with which ended up being all of our mutual friends, another friend of ours, and they did such a cool Kingdom Hearts skit. Like literally that year, I don't remember any of the other skits except for like the Kingdom Hearts skit that they did, and then like there was one other, I think, Final Fantasy skit. Like that's all I remember from that entire con. And so the way we were seated, like after we did our skits, we kind of had this like seating area, and so Lex and the other friend came down and sat down, and literally me and my partner Sokka were like, we have to go talk to them, we have to go find them, we have to be friends. And so we like literally rushed over to them and like started screaming about their costumes, and then we passed information, and now it's been a few years. But like seriously, we had so much fun that year, and like that was my first year doing skits and competitions, and so meeting fellow friends that were like so good and so welcoming, it was like a really good experience for me. It helped me like really fall in love with like the backstage atmosphere that you get doing that. It was just such a fun experience.
Yeah, it was a real fun time. It was an experience for me as well because that was my first skit competition. I was very much at that point used to performing by myself. So playing off of someone else's energy and syncing up with them and having the right timing and everything. Also, I've never done any kind of ballroom dancing whatsoever before that. So I had to learn how to dance with somebody and still like make sure that they felt comfortable and trusted me to do the things that I needed to do, and that we had the right chemistry and everything. And it was a lot of fun. It was stressful because that weekend we got into a car crash on the way to the con, but we made it and we did it.
Oh my God. Well, I would have never messed up as your guys' first one because it was so good. I mean, like, I guess I was the same. Like, my partner had experience, but I'd only done like little like masquerade walk-on stuff. I had never done like a full skit that was totally planned with like pacing and stuff. And so it was a really fun experience. And I gotta say, it's like one of my favorite things to do at cons now is to do the skit thing. I guess that's probably why I'm starting to really like TikTok, is it has that same like energy of like going on and performing. And so I've been really enjoying it. I haven't been on TikTok a lot this year, but I've also been super busy. But just like that atmosphere you get from being an actress or an actor, I guess, just being out and doing things and creating stories. It's just such a fun experience.
It's really enjoyable. Also, like through TikTok, I'm allowed to be a little more creative because you get more time to like edit stuff together and try things that you can't necessarily do on stage. Like recently I had done a yandere character. And so there was excuse me. There was blood and stuff, which you can't really do on stage. And I got to play with like fake spray blood for once, and it was a really different experience.
I can't have
there we go.
No one can.
Yeah, that one's really cool because like at first I didn't catch it, and then all of a sudden I just saw that. I'm like, oh wait,
yeah,
good timing.
That took multiple takes. My partner had to come in here. I was like, do me a favor, I need your help. And they're like, what? I need you to spray my face. Please don't try to get in my eye. It's just like a spray bottle about like that big. And we had to, like, if you look at the video again, there's a bunch on my chin. That was them missing.
I can't have you.
But the best part about that is that even though they missed, I didn't have to wipe it off because it just lended to the aesthetic.
It makes it
so
look
cool.
even more dangerous. Like they've already been torturing them a little while. Now they're doing the rest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was able to just do certain things like that just on a whim. I was like, I've never done a character like this before, and Valentine's is coming up. Everyone's going to be doing like cutesy, wholesome. No, I'm going to do the stalker that is like, you're mine and nobody else's, and that's the end of it.
That's a good idea, actually.
I mean, that's true. Like, with TikTok, I picked up a lot more like closet cosplays or things that I don't feel like I would have ever done if it wasn't for this platform. Just because I'll be like sitting at home and thinking, it'll be like, oh wait, I have everything I need for this one little thing, at least from the chest up, so I can film a short video. And so I've been doing so many more like AUs and so much more like just different content that I've never filmed before. But it's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna share some of yours before you. I know, you know, you're on a limited time schedule here, Chibi.
Yeah,
so.
I'm doing this from my work. I have a strategically placed lunch break. So.
Sorry, I'm still sharing, guys. I'm not paying attention. I'm still getting us out there.
You're good.
What do you want me to share?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't have anything like
Kiri.
I guess my Kirishima. Yeah, no, like Kirishima.
Someday I will buy a galley with good doors, sail to distant shores, stand.
This totally started out as like a closet cosplay I was just gonna do once because I just had all the materials and I did Kiri. But like now I wear him to cons and I'll be wearing him again to Sakura Con because I just love how good that costume turned out.
I love this look
confident,
so
too.
much.
Thank you. Sam, actually, Thermo Cosplay is the one who painted me at Emerald City Comic Con. So I'm very, very grateful. It was such a big hit. And like, I'm hoping to get some more time to work on TikTok because I'm kind of in the middle of con crunch. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen. But it's been super fun just trying to branch out and do like, I guess TikTok is different from skits because skits are like a 3 to 5 minute endeavor. So like you're trying to tell an entire story through at least 3 to 5 minutes, which is pretty easy. But when you only have 10 seconds to a minute, because that's usually what people's like attention span is, it's so much harder to tell a story in that short time period. And so it's a completely new set of skills that you get to learn. And like a lot of like this one is one of those ones where it was just me following the song from the show, but I try to do a lot of content like with some of my D&D stuff that people don't know my D&D characters. So you have to try to tell the story in 30 seconds to get people's attention, and it's a completely different experience.
Yeah,
Also,
it's definitely different. Definitely, I've picked up video editing skills. I've definitely learned more lighting. Like I didn't have a ring light before TikTok.
Oh wow, yeah.
I did not have a ring light. I didn't have all of this. This is just fabric from Joann's. Like I was able through TikTok to learn how to just present myself better in media, like both video and photos, and that kind of skyrocketed me in ways that I was not prepared for.
Yeah, I've only recently gone back to TikTok because I'm a cybersecurity analyst, and they had some things for a while that I just could not operate with. Now they're doing better. But I've been on Reels for a while, and Reels is kind of where I started getting more into the video space. But it's not as powerful of an engine as TikTok is. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like in TikTok going, oh my gosh. So one thing I'm going to ask is someone that's still learning the platform and has come from much different user interfaces is how do you find like the special effects that you like, through the Discover, like how do you use those? Because a lot of people get really confused with that.
So a lot of when I find like certain kinds of effects and things that I use in my videos, it's actually because I saw them scrolling my For You page.
Okay.
On TikTok specifically. So I will be scrolling and I'll watch a video and like, I like that. And like right above the username, it'll talk about like whatever effect is used, hopefully. It usually does on the phone. The desktop interface is not one that I've played with a lot. Does it show you? No, it doesn't. That's not nice.
Yeah. I wonder if you have to like click on something and see if it has like...
I mean, I don't use a lot of effects, so my profile might not be a good choice. I mean, that Kiri video does have an effect on it, but
that's
while you're editing effects, though. That's
the
sunburst one.
Yeah, so I'm thinking some of it. I know that like when I was on my phone, there's like a little like circle thingy or a little bubble. That's the word I'm looking for.
That's usually how I find effects is there's a little bubble like right next to or above the username, and I will click on that bubble if I like the effect, and it'll just like when you click on the audio in the bottom right corner, it'll pop up a screen that shows a ton of videos that also use that effect, and you can favorite it from there. And then once you favorited it, when you go to make a video and go to effects, there's a little bookmark tab of effects that you have saved.
Which is pretty awesome. Like,
yeah. That's how I go about doing it. I end up not using the Discover tab as much just because I will get on TikTok one day and people will be like, oh my gosh, this video, it's disgusting. And I'm like, I'm not looking at anything except the things I enjoy.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like the heart effect on that one, that was an effect that I saved.
which is so pretty.
Yeah.
So cool.
Oh, that's cute.
And then, hello, I am your stalker.
Yep.
Just kidding. I'm not that cute. I'm just evil, and I'm gonna stab you to death. Yay.
I will say that I'm really happy about that
Cars
spray
go
blood because it
fast.
did dry
You
really
boys
well.
are the
And
homosexual supporting cast.
Roses are red. Cars go fast.
You boys are the homosexual supporting cast.
Roses are
That's so much.
oh god, yes, that's me and my best friend Shogun Echo. I love him to bits and pieces. He is the Tamaki to my Kiyoya. We did that one night because we were saying for years that that's just two cosplays we should have done, and just decided, you know what, we're gonna do the thing. And that we sunk into the characters just so easily. Like that video took maybe 2 takes. That's it.
Yeah, and that's one thing
What
a lot
is
of
it
people don't
now,
realize is a lot of these
Daddy?
videos take extra takes
Say,
too.
Mommy dear,
What is it now, Daddy?
say,
What is it
Oh
now,
my god,
Daddy?
I forgot how good Oron is.
I just could never get into TikTok because I could never figure out this whole like, and I've obviously spoken to people now that like, you know, like you said, Lux, like you're for your page, this, da, da, da. But when I first got on there and I was like trying to find audio, I'm like, how the heck do people do this? So I really could not get into TikTok. But I was one of those that tried to during the pandemic because I'm very much of an in-person cosplayer, and I was just like, what to do? So
Yeah,
I mean, that's fair. And like, I started kind of like that too. Like, I jumped on TikTok last year, the very first of last year. So I've officially been on for a year. And when I first got on TikTok, it was really overwhelming. And I'm not a video splicer at all. I can do some like basic photo editing, and that's the extent of my knowledge. So I would actually edit and do everything on my phone because I had a pretty good phone editor. And then I would put it in TikTok until I started getting comfortable with just like playing around with things. And that helped me a lot because then I would have like my video ready. And then also if I had it edited, I could post it on both Instagram and TikTok, and then they wouldn't fight with each other. But it was a really just a good way to kind of ease my toes in. Like, I still suck at TikTok. I won't even say I'm decent. Like, all of my transitions and FX are literally like physical things that I usually do because I don't like playing with editing stuff. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna do it in real life and then do the video and then I'm done because I don't even want to mess around with that stuff.
Well, see, I love editing videos. Like, that's my thing. That's what I grew up with. So like now I'm having to figure out how to use the effects to edit instead of the software. And I still use a lot of software, but like that's one transition shift for a lot of people too, who were kind of in my generation that were like, wait a second, the app has all of it now. We don't have to have another app for it.
That's what I find insane. Like, I'm not like a traditionally trained like video editor. Like I've learned a lot of it on my own, and I have, you know, did it on desktop, and I kind of do some stuff like freelance and stuff. And then so I never really got into the whole like app editing because I would start like editing it on the desktop for the phone. Like, I would put it in that format, and then I would like send it to my phone. I'm like, God, this is so complicated. So I actually use InShot. I think Sam uses InShot as well. For only it's like $15. You don't use InShot?
Mm-mm.
No? Oh, I thought you did.
I use GoPro Quick. I've always used GoPro Quick. I've used GoPro Quick, and then I actually use a lot of Adobe products that
Maybe
are on my
remember
phone.
that used it because I know in one of our previous episodes, because I've been watching all our previous episodes, someone mentioned that they also use
I think
InShot.
that was Liz.
I use InShot, and it's like $15 a year, and you can pretty much do anything. Like, they even have a database of music in the app too.
Oh, wow.
But I usually just edit it without audio, and then I find the audio on Instagram because I've done more reels, so I use it for reels. But I'm sure TikTok is similar, you know. So when I do use the audio in InShot, you know, it's like you're obviously not going to get as much traction because that's one way to do it. Obviously, is to use the audio that's been trending. So. Yeah.
So Lux, do you use any external editors as well?
I have used CapCut before because for a while I had an iPhone. I still have an iPhone. The only good thing about that iPhone was the different video editing software that I could use on my phone, because at the time I didn't have that great of a laptop to run a lot of video editing. So I've used CapCut in order to play with more green screen type things. I was able to dabble a little more. Like a lot of my longer videos that kind of showcase more of my costumes,
Mhm.
that I did CapCut, just because getting all of those clips together in TikTok would have taken way too long. Oh my god.
I like this one.
This was so
There's so many awesome characters in here.
This video honestly is the main reason I got a following on TikTok. And you can tell how old it is because this was before we had captions in TikTok. So you had
So
to
I
like,
have
write your own signs.
So I have a question because, like, this is what I admire about people that are so active on TikTok is like it takes a lot of planning. Like, how many costumes are you wearing here? Did you do this all in one sitting? Did you kind of do this as you were doing other content in those costumes? Like,
If I'm irritated enough, I will be fueled by spite and will do a lot more than I probably should. I put on all of those outfits individually before having to go to work.
So in one setting.
In one sitting.
Wow. Because I would have thought maybe like, okay, well, I'm doing content in this outfit and I will also do, that slide, that's for that one. And then the next day, maybe you're doing content in another one. But I mean, that looks like I would be tired by the end, but it looks great.
Yeah, no, that one was wild. That came from a place of like trying to show people because at the time TikTok was kind of a harsh place for certain communities, and I was just like, I'm here, I support you, cosplay what you want, please be happy.
Yeah.
If anything, if you have to, just message me, please be happy. I want you to have fun, even if other people don't.
Yeah, and I mean that's a big thing too. Is a lot of these platforms can be used to share the voices of others and promote them as well. And I like that there's more of these like repost options so that you can keep promoting the message and keep sharing it and rotating it when algorithms suck and try to hide the content, which frustrates me because I have a lot of friends of color whose content I'd like to see and I don't get to see it as much as I want. So I have to go hunting for it and keep pushing it up further so that it appears where I want it to be. And it's just ridiculous. But I do appreciate that more of these features are coming in to repost and to reshare so that it can keep alive.
Yeah, it sucks that we're still doing this even into 2022. Like
right.
It's just, when will it just never have to be a problem? Like it's crazy.
You're gonna have to rewrite the internet because it started racist. So.
I mean, that's fair. I'm going to do a shameless plug and promote Original Glaze for people who are kind of like just done with algorithms. If they like the Instagram model, but they're tired of the algorithms and the racism that Instagram has been leaning towards, look into an app called Original Glaze. It's a Instagram styled app that's made for specifically cosplayers. It's only cosplayers are allowed, or photographers or people within the crafting communities. So it's a very safe place. I have been on there for almost a year now, probably. I'm a mod there now, and the content has been lovely. It's still a very small app. It's still kind of, there's little bugs and stuff. So if you're interested in going in and kind of helping out and helping them point out bugs and stuff, it's a really good place to start. The community there is lovely. Everyone is so nice. I've never once had like a creepy message, which is like, this is the first app I've ever been on where I haven't been like one of those creepy messaged that you get, because anybody who's probably a female cosplayer knows exactly what I'm talking about.
So it's like true like cosplay focused social media platform.
And it's so fun. And the staff and like the people who are running it are cosplayers, but they're also tech geeks that are just trying to put together their two passions. And it's absolutely phenomenal. I would really recommend going to check it out. You can just sign up, go to their website, click on the email, and it tells you how to get started. Usually takes a day or two, but like it's totally worth it. It's such a fun platform, and it's so
I threw the link in the chats.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's so I just feel really, I feel like I finally have a platform where I'm not struggling with algorithms and content. I'm genuinely enjoying cosplays and seeing other people's cosplays and just being part of community again, which is nice because I've been struggling with Instagram a lot lately. Like, I just posted a Spice Wolf thing because we just got an announcement. Spice Wolf's getting a new something. They haven't said if it's a season or movie, but like, if anybody knows me, Holo's like my number one cosplay. So I got so excited. I posted some pictures. Literally, my first like 5 comments were promote it here. Promote it here, promote it here, promote it here. All those promotions were a bunch of skinny white girls, and I was so lots of bad words. Like, I don't like promoting those types of things. I don't like those type of platforms. I hate that people reach out with those, and I literally just had to block all these comments and stuff on my page, and it was like it wasn't even up for like 5 hours, and I had that.
Well,
and
you
I
know
was
what they
so
actually
mad.
are? They're actually the accounts that turn into like advertising accounts. Because I'm like, okay, I'm really gonna look into this like cosplay share site. So I actually scrolled down, and like more than half of them were like green tea mask. So it's like they're just trying to exploit like, you know, the cosplay community and just like use it for their advantage. So it's frustrating that Instagram's not working fast enough on that, but you know.
No, it's just been really, like, for me, that's like one of my biggest reasons I haven't been doing a lot of posting on other platforms is because I just get so frustrated. But like Original Glaze, it's literally all hand done. Everyone there and all the people that like go through and do editing and modding and stuff, they're humans. They're not algorithms. So it's a really safe place to be. And it's pretty cool. So I'd go check it out if you're interested.
Yeah.
So, Lux, I have a question for you. Do you have any upcoming cosplay plans that you're like super excited about?
If you know, COVID allow. that's really the thing. If COVID allows, I'm hoping to attempt to go to Dragon Con this year. And me and a couple of my friends are planning to do a group of Vieira boys. So all the bunny boys from Final Fantasy 14.
That is
I'd
awesome.
love to go Fran cosplay. I don't play 14 though, but yeah, I love that. I love the Vieiras. That's
I'm so excited for that. Also, one of my friends is going to do a female Vieira, and I will gladly lay on the floor.
Nice.
Yes.
Other than that, I have my group of friends that I go to cons with that I will 9 times out of 10 do groups, and this Sakura con is going to be pretty relaxing unless we end up doing it the 18 plus lip sync, which is always a good time. always a good time.
I'm just gonna have to follow Chibi around because I'm going there for the first time. So
I'm kidnapping Sam there for Sakura Con. I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah, I wanna go, but I'm waiting for WonderCon. So if WonderCon announces, then I won't go. If WonderCon cancels, I'll go to Sakura.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get to meet both of you in person because you both are rad. It's really fun.
Thank you. I would love to go to SakuraCon, but also WonderCon.
That's fair.
Jinx loves WonderCon. Like Jinx is addicted to WonderCon.
Tangent.
It was such a great experience, and I was so bummed that. Well, I mean, obviously, like it was understandable that we were all going to go the following year, 2020. We had such big plans for it, and it all fell through. So Sam still hasn't gotten to go. So I understand, like, maybe another year, maybe some other year. So yeah. Ray says, "Good afternoon, all. Everyone is looking amazing today. Thank you so much, Ray. Nice to see you."
Thank you, Ray. So all right, Lex, what are some of your? I'm gonna pull up the TikTok feed that I have here, and let me know what ones you want me to click on. And I will try my best to click on the tile. Just kind of tell us some of the favorites and like what your process was to go through and make them. Let's see here.
Let's see.
Well, my break, my lunch is up, so I have to run. But I love y'all so much. This was a lovely episode. Everyone else have a really great day. Be safe out there. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so let me go back to my screen. There we go.
Let's go. Do you see the Shinso cosplay with my head kind of sticking out of the corner?
This one?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to review the family madrigal. Let's go. It's such a abuela and the tía Papa, so you know the weather. I'm a Julieta, can make you feel better with just one out of that. I got a steamboat, Jackson and Robert Steamboat. Hey, you said you want to know what everyone does. I got sisters and cousins and Primo Camilo won't stop until he makes you smile today. My cousin Dolores can hear this a quarter of a mile away. Look, Mr. Ready, I know you can learn my sister if you want to between you and me. She's got a record, but I always too much to think, but I really gotta go. My family's amazing, and I'm in my family, so well, I never met.
Yeah. So that one, it was me, like I had to go through save videos, save photos, and then use the TikTok green screen effect to like superimpose myself in front. Also taking the time to listen to that audio over and over and over and over again, because Encanto had pretty much just come out. And I didn't know all the lyrics yet. And trying to figure out captions that kind of went with the melody of the song, while also just kind of showing people of like, I have a hard time talking about myself. I'll talk to you about my costumes and my cosplays for hours, but you're like, well, what about Lux? And I'm like,
you're like this. I am Mirabelle. This is no. We'll talk about everything else.
How long did this take you?
Let's focus on this thing. How about this instead? Look, my ears move.
So how long did this video take you? Like from start to finish? So starting like, the planning and then like the uploading.
I want to say like the captions are what really took the longest, because TikTok has two ways you can do captions. You either type them yourself or if you're talking, like if you record yourself doing the audio, then it has a feature where it will auto type up captions for you. I had to type all those captions myself because I'm just mouthing everything. I'm lip syncing. So that's what took the absolute longest. And not only did I have to type them all out, I had to put the duration of how long they're supposed to be on screen. So I think from start to finish, it took like maybe 2.5 hours, because the clips and photos were already there. So I didn't have to put on the makeup, the costume, or anything. This one is just solely editing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's some dedication there, because that's a lot.
Yeah, and this is like what, like a 20-30 second video? Like how long is it? And I think people still take for granted how long it takes to make stuff on video, depending on how much editing there is. They're like, oh, well, can't you just like, cut a couple things out and it's done? Like, I think it's good to, kind of show the behind the scenes, and that's why I am so impressed by it, but I'm just too lazy to do it, because I can see these videos and I can see how much work it takes. I think the average person who doesn't know, because we watch movies, we watch TV, and it looks just so simple. They're like, oh, that's cool. Like, it's a 30-second video, probably only took like 10 minutes, like, well, no. It takes a lot more planning and setup and retakes and editing. And so.
Yep. Yeah. Transition videos, I feel, are where I shine the most, but that's because I've learned to listen to the audio and figure out exactly where the drop is, or like, Yeah. So stuff like that. I think the hardest transition I've had to do, if you scroll down a bit, you see me holding the doll with the purple hair. Up.
Oh, I missed it. There's one.
Yeah. Yes. This is the hardest transition video I've done.
There's some wild stuff right there. All right.
My own magical girl transformation.
Oh my god. So cute. Oh, I see.
Yay! I love it. A lot of timing, though.
Yeah.
It was a lot of timing, a lot of like, I had to go back to that exact spot after putting on whatever piece of the outfit I had to do, and then makeup had to be done last, because that's usually in your magical girl transformation, that's the big reveal of the face and everything. And so trying to figure out which pieces to go on, and like having to go back to that exact same spot, not move the camera and everything, to make sure everything lined up as much as possible.
Yeah.
That one, that took also just, the timing for the transition, because there were so many different spots. It's not just one drop like some of the other ones. Yeah, that one, that video took the longest, and I was like, I swear this one better do well.
You're like, please, this is so hard.
I want to say, Chris on YouTube says, hi, y'all look great. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube. Just a quick plug, guys, if you're watching us from whatever platform, if you like us, please subscribe to our YouTube so that we can get our own URL. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
I love that transition one. God, that inspires me to do one, but it's so much. I know it's so much work.
It's a lot.
But it looks like
it's a labor. It's got to be a labor of love.
Yeah.
That's definitely, it's a labor of love.
Maybe when I'm done with Sailor Mars, but I love it. I really love it. It's so cute. And I'm just like, I'll watch reels all day long and I'll be like, oh, I could do that. And then I'm like, God, it's so much work.
Then you're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I could do it if I wanted to put in that much work. You know, it's like,
yeah.
This one made me laugh. This one was hilarious when I watched this. Like, just the timing of the water falling out of your mouth was amazing.
Respectfully. The other one that kind of blew my mind of how far it went, well, besides like Junko and Monokuma, because I think those are the two that have gone the farthest, but my Shinso, if you go up a little more, there's a repost of it. Up, maybe not a little, maybe a lot.
Keep going, it's fine.
It's the eye. It's the one where you literally just see my eye. That's a repost of it, but the first time it went way further.
I think therefore I am. I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend.
That was like my first time doing, because at the time there was like a trend of doing under eye makeup, and instead of like doing your eyeshadow on top, and I'm like, I've never done this before, but I feel like it would fit this character. And the thing you really have to learn about TikTok, other than the editing and making sure your lighting's right, is does this audio fit this character?
Yeah, that's a big thing too, because I have a hard time for audio.
Yeah, searching for audio is rough. My problem is I end up finding too many audios, and then by the time I go to make the content for said character, all of my audios are buried because I'm like, oh, this one would be good for Shinso, this one would be good for Bayonetta, and then, you know, further down the line when I do Kaya from Genshin Impact, like, and so I have like hundreds of audios saved, and I have to scroll through and search to figure out which one I was talking about or looking for. Other content I've done, because you're in this section right now, this whole line of the white-haired character, that was Valentine's Day. I did Zen from Mystic Messenger. It was a mobile dating sim from a couple years back. And so I decided to open up my Q&A box, and people could put in, like, what would you like Zen to do for you for Valentine's Day? You know, because he's a loving, doting boyfriend. And oh God, this one.
Eyes radiant as the sun in the sky. The smile on your face is the light of my life. Your company is something I hold dear. And at 3 a.m. when I can't sleep, it is your face that I'm thinking about. They say
so cute. You're like, it's your face that I'm thinking about.
The last person.
So I just have to make a comment because you're sitting here so embarrassed, which, like, it's so hard for people to put themselves out there, right? And you've put it out there, and you've got, you know, you've got a lot of attention. People love it. So I think that's one thing people need to get over the hurdle of, is being so self-conscious. Like, obviously, you're still kind of embarrassed by it, but it makes so many people happy. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm still into my favorite one. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I hate seeing like videos of myself too, but then it's like, oh, people actually like enjoy this or whatever, you know. So stepping out of your comfort zone is one huge obstacle I think people have with like TikTok and stuff. And that's why I admire people on TikTok, because I'm like, sometimes I see things that could look awkward, but it's like for the feeling of the video or whatever, and I'm like, wow, that's such dedication.
And you can see how much content you kind of have to create to really keep building a fault. I mean, you just have so many videos and so much. I love the Arcana, so like this just, yeah.
You're scaring me. I have this weird feeling.
Just so happy. I was like, Azra.
Hey, why aren't koalas considered bears?
Because they're marsupials.
Because they're marsupials. No, it's because they don't have the right qualifications.
Hey.
Yeah, I people have asked me like how do you get into it? Like not just how do you get into making like TikToks, but like how do you start your sessions like when you're making content? And so I decided at one point to just literally make a video of how I get comfortable in front of the camera. And sometimes the answer is I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's I fully am like, okay, I am going into being this character. What would this character do? And other times I will have a playlist for said character. If I can't fully like sink into the attitude and everything, I have like Spotify playlists that I either will build or I find other people have made, and I'll play that in the background, and I will just, have the camera on and just dance. I will dance and like shake and just try to get out as much of the nerves and like just as much as possible, because doing
Yeah, I
the
noticed like on your right here, you have one right here where like you're just kind of like,
yeah,
and getting it all out.
Yep.
But it works.
Yeah.
We need that link to your tutorial so that we can share that in our Discord. Make sure if you can find that, Sam, to save that video.
Yeah.
The one you said is your tutorial of how you kind of get into it. We'd love to share that. So like for me, like I have years of experience acting and on theater and stuff, and still like when I'm by myself on the camera, I feel so awkward. It's so funny because for people that are having trouble with it too, but so the best place in my house, like I'm married, I live in a house. The best place in my house to film is down in the dining room. So I was down there once, like trying to do like, TikToks. My husband's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Go away."
I did like I was in my car. It was 115 degrees that day. I did a photo shoot, and thankfully my makeup stayed on. I was in my car. I'm like, I'm gonna take this off. I know the second I get home, so I need to get a video done. And it was one of those like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm fearful people are gonna see this. So I'm like, just muster the rest of what you have. So I'm gonna show this because like you're making a good point that sometimes you just really aren't in the mood. And that's what happened to me here when I did this toothless.
I'm never in the mood. And Sam, you always manage to get some content out every time you're in a costume. I can't.
It's hard.
It is. It's hard to stay motivated, like.
And like right after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show people that my horns are fake. So just as a joke, I'm like, you want to see something? Guess what?
Hey, you want to see a trick?
They're fake.
Like even simple videos like that are so helpful. I can't even get motivated. Like after this week's just coming right off. Like I just can't. Like I don't. But I really admire people that do, and it's a lot of work. And I think that even with obviously the younger generation is so active with it, and I think the older generation's like, those kids. I'm like, but it takes work. Like you're not doing it. Because I'm like, I wasn't, I wasn't raised on the internet. And I think those that are, it's so much easier for them to, and I'm not like trying to, ageist or whatever. I'm just like, I'm amazed by it because they're so much more comfortable being on camera, being on the internet. And it's like us, like, millennials, Gen Xers, like not so much. So, I mean, millennials, I'm a zennial, so I wasn't quite raised on, like full internet. So I'm one of those that are still like,
I grew up with a computer in my house and have been typing on one since I was like 5 or 6.
We grew up with a computer too. I mean, I made my first website at 13, but still we were very incognito online. So
my dad was like, computers are going to be big. I saved up all this money. We're going to use this computer. You and your brother are going to learn to type. We did Mario teaches typing, but the one thing we weren't allowed to do was share our face online. So that was something that was a transition period for me.
Yeah. I mean, even cosplay, like that was the first time I posted pictures of myself. I was like 17 when I first started cosplaying, and I was using cosplay.com. And then we had pictures on there. So that was like the first time, people were showing their faces, and like, hey, let's meet up in person. Like, oh my God, So that's the generation I grew up on. That's kind of why I'm like, I'm a zennial, it's like people that were born later in the 80s and early 90s, the internet was already a regular thing, like, you know, like the
Right.
90s. I mean, you know what I mean? Kind of like more and more people were having computers in their houses. So yeah.
Lux, you mentioned that you were accepting like a Q&A and you let fans kind of give suggestions for that one character. Do you use your DMs and your inbox as a kind of a source of inspiration as well when you feel like you just don't have any ideas?
I've told people you're more than welcome to like send me videos if you think, oh, hey, you could do this. This seems pretty cool, or hey, this is trending. And at that point, I am like, I'll look at it, but just there's no guarantee that I will do it. One, because at the end of the day, it's my content, it's my page. I do what I want. But I'm always open to the suggestion because, like Jinx said, sometimes I'm stumped. Sometimes I don't have the motivation, and it's nice to know that like my followers are like, hey, you haven't posted in a while. I miss you. You okay? And I'm like, no, I'm a mess, but thank you for checking in.
Yeah. So let's talk about, because we were talking about how you didn't have a ring light before. What is your setup? What do you do? Like, what do you use right now?
Right now I have a ring light that's way shorter than me. I'm sitting in a chair. That's the only reason this is working. I've had a couple different setups because I've had to make content in a couple different places. Usually I will try to find a wall, put up a piece of Joanne's fabric. Like some people will buy backdrops. I'm like, why? I have a bunch of fabric because I'm a cosplayer. I have a bunch of fabric sitting around. So if I want a certain aesthetic, I'll just put up a piece of fabric with some thumbtacks and then I have my LEDs. And that's really about it. It's either that or a lot of the yandere videos were shot right in front of the bathroom because there's like our bathroom has like the sink and then a door and then the toilet and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I just kind of close the door, close the closet door, and I have that little corner. And so it just kind of depends on what exactly, if I'm going for a more sterile environment or if I'm going for a more fun one like this.
Yes, yeah.
And I will make sure that the lights kind of correspond or play off of the character and the character's outfit. Like with Thimble, the witch, I had the lights so that they were purple. It made sense for her. But yeah, the ring light, it's just a basic ring light. It has warm light, cool light, and just standard white. It has a dimmer and you can get dimmer, it can get brighter. I want to get more colored lights because like the fairy lights are pretty, but if I can get brighter colored lights, that could help me shift and like put more emphasis on like certain kind of moods, like having it suddenly turn red because, you know, anger and whatnot. Or like yellow for happiness. Like if Lemillion, you know, you want to have like a bright color to just show like, ha, I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to do that, but it's not necessary.
You can
like
even
I do
use,
all
like,
of this
cellophane,
stuff.
like colored cellophane over your lamps, you know, like colored.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I would need the ring light in front of me because before the ring light, I had a lot of problems with lighting because lights were either too far away or not bright enough, and so the camera had a harder time picking up my facial features. So a lot of my makeup would be lost. A lot of like facial expressions. The video would be a little more crunchy because it's just having a hard time picking up everything. So I have to keep the ring light, but I also want just more oomph in the background. But that's not necessary. All you really need is the camera and the app, whichever you so choose. What you put into it is what you get out of it, more or less.
Yeah. Have you ever like done any TikToks at a convention or an event? Like,
oh yeah, the one when I was transitioning into this outfit, that was at Emerald City this year. That was in the hotel room.
Nice. That's what I thought. I was like, the Emerald City. So would you say that which do you prefer? Do you prefer being outside where you could have more of a natural setting and a lot more opportunities for backgrounds, or do you prefer having it more controlled where the light is easier for you to manage?
I would prefer, just because of how the weather is a lot in Washington, I would prefer to have it inside so I have more control over the lighting, and I hate being cold. So I'd rather be indoors.
I think that's one lucky thing we have here. I don't have I have a ring light right here, but that's just to change the color of my light. I don't have any lights on in my house right now at all. This is just an open window.
Yeah, I have a window right here.
It's always bright here.
Yeah. There's a window over there, but I can literally.
I don't even have my blinds all the way open because otherwise it would be too bright.
Yeah, same. Mine are like not quite all the way open, and this is a north facing window, and it's still pretty bright.
So that's a good point. Like based on where you are regionally, you want to consider you may need different equipment. Like you may just need to have a window facing next to you and then have a nice little backdrop, or you may have to have a ring light and maybe some kind of a soft box. And so there's wherever you're making content, depend like Lux said, depending how much you put into it, how much effort you put is what you're going to get out of it. And that's entirely true. Sometimes you get those random videos that people love and goes viral, and you're like, why this one?
That's me because trash. Yeah, my first ever reel was just a video of me sewing, and there wasn't even any music, and it went like 10,000 views, and I was like, what the. How
everybody liked
every
it.
single video after that's been like 60 likes. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, it's always the one you put. Well, not always, but a chunk of the time, it's the one you put the least amount of effort into and like the least amount of editing and everything. And just takes off. You're like, but why?
Yeah. Like I just showed my messy costume room. This is it. This is just dirty costume room, and then boom, cleaned it. And that was it. And it's like really popular.
So relatable though. That's why I think.
It's just like, yeah, but it was one of those things where just like my Lady D, the one that I expected to go like be more popular was not the one that was more popular. So it's like super, super confusing on like what's going to happen with, this is quite possibly, this is just me messing around in the camera. And people keep messaging me about this. Like, when are you going to do Elizabeth Felix again? I'm like, seriously? So sometimes it's the random stuff.
Yeah, I still get notifications on my Bowsette that I did ages ago, and I'm like, why?
Bowsette, I think, is never gonna, because like someone was like, because I did Bowsette as well, kind of late in the game, and they're like, is she still relevant? And she's my most popular. Like my posts are always my top. My Bowsette posts are always my top. Like, and I still get notifications as well. Like you said,
I found your Bowsette. I am a ninja on the internet. So, anyways.
Oh, geez.
Oh, you should have read that Bowsette too. Me too.
Baby girl, you made popcorn. Bitch, you made popcorn. Sis, you made popsicle. But popping me? Bitch, you could never.
That was, oh God. Yeah, no, the first time I did her, it was just kind of someone was like, hey, I could 3D print the crown for you. And I'm like, sure, why not? I will do it for fun.
Yeah.
Why not? And it just took, I found an audio on YouTube by Michaela Laws. I made sure to credit her, but it just took off. Gone. This was me, like, I brought her to a convention, and I, like, that was an experience.
Yeah, I believe it, because I've seen how crazy people go over, like, her Bowsette, and I'm just like, anyone that dresses in Bowsette, I feel for them now, because, like, people come out of the freaking woodwork. Like, they just magically appear. You're like, you weren't there, like, literally a second ago. How did you?
Yeah, everyone goes nuts when I'm in Bowsette, and I'm like, oh, that's like, am I mentally ready to wear this today? It's like, you have to be mentally ready. So we're actually we're like really close to the end here. If any viewers have any questions, throw them in the chat. Anything else you wanted to mention, Lux, before we close out? Any words of wisdom for anyone trying to like get into the TikTok groove?
Get into it. There are a multitude of like reasons to get into it. I get more mileage out of my costumes. For new costumes, it's a good way to cost test, like check wear and everything, check fit. Don't hesitate to ask questions, because there's a lot of cosplayers on TikTok that will give tutorials or be like, hey, this is how I did this. Don't be afraid to network. Your first couple videos, they're going to be cringy, no matter what. No matter how much prep you put into it, it's going to be cringy. It's only going to get better from there. Just keep going.
Does the @ belong in there?
Yeah, that's how that's literally from the link itself.
Oh, okay, because I've not been on the TikTok like website, like the desktop. So nice. So yeah, so guys, also we're gonna share Lux's. I want to share that video that Lux has about like the tutorial. So Sam, if you can grab that, or if you can send that to us, Lux, in the chat so we can share it. We also have a Discord, guys, so please join our Discord. I'll type it in. Even if you're not a cosplayer, like, join. You just have to like cosplay and, you know, want to, you know, cosplay or like it, whatever. But we'll post this stuff in the post-show chat channel. Let's see, let me make sure I get it right in here. I think that's right. Yeah, so check us out on Discord as well. Again, if you are not already subbed to our YouTube, we would really appreciate it to help us get to that custom URL. So where can we find you on the internet? Sam already posted in there, but just, you know, if you can reiterate again where we can find you online, Lux.
You can find Heaven's Light Cosplay on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm still trying to learn Twitter, though, so bear with me on there.
Nice. And I have a website, jinxcosplay.com, or you can find me online at the Jinx Cosplay. Yes. Sam.
And just go to www.thermocosplay.com, and I have all my tutorials and all the socials, because it's easier than saying just go there.
Talk Live, guys, you can find us. We have a website, costtalk-live.com, and we stream every Sunday at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on 3 platforms. So that is Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And we do have an Instagram as well at Cost Talk Live. And next week, what's next week? Do you know yet, Sam?
I don't have any plans yet for next week.
Okay. I actually won't. I don't think I'll be on. I'll try to, because I'm going to be in Hawaii.
Ooh.
So yeah, but again, guys, we always love to hear from you. You can always send us suggestions for show topics or guests. Yeah, and you can always check out our past episodes on our YouTube and our Facebook. So yeah, well, thank you so much, Lux, for joining us today. We hope all of our viewers got some really good insight on how to keep that TikTok or the Reels going. Yeah, so definitely be sure to check it out.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.